drive the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, this is Dylan Smith. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Amber Colvin. I'd like to thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
If I do the show now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Talk Racing. Crystal here, and I'm back all the way from Arizona. We have Al Pearce, my good friend here, and also my good friend Dylan tonight.
Jack Dawson.
Oh, geez.
Hey, now she called me by the wrong name.
I've been in the hot sun all day, y'all. You gotta give me a break. Whew.
You got a fried brain.
Yeah, I actually kind of do. Me and my mom are a little out of it today. And we have Brian on the phone. Hi, Brian. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, how are y'all guys doing?
Doing great.
Brian Morehouse from the NASCAR officiating world. He gets jumping all different divisions.
All kinds of fun stuff.
Usually the Southern Wheeling Modified, the K&N Series, and he gets to play around with the Cup Boys every once in a while.
Yep. How about you tell us about some upcoming events you're going to be in and stuff?
Well, we got upcoming events coming up. We had a DIR coming up with K&N East, and then after that, we've got the Bristol event in August. And it's a midweek event. I'll just kind of look on my phone to see what date that is. Like somewhere around August 21st, I believe. Same night as the truck race. That's where we end up having the North boys and the South boys get together and meet halfway, which not really halfway, but it's a real good track to be able to meet on. And try to get the top 36, I believe, is the starting field, and go from there and see what you can do on those high banks of Bristol.
Cool.
Ron, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Assume that I am a somewhat loyal NASCAR fan, and no, I'm trying to present a scenario that people in the community might present.
This is what I like.
And I'm wondering what Brian thinks of it. Just say I'm a NASCAR fan, and I go to 4, 5, 6, 8 races a year, and I watch it on TV, and I read about it and all. And all of a sudden, I don't understand how 31 cars can be caught at Daytona with what were clearly illegal roof flaps because NASCAR took them. And I don't understand as a fan why those 31 drivers were not penalized. Now, I'm not talking about that specific case. I'm asking you, can you understand in the broader picture how so many fans can look at that sort of decision and think that's very inconsistent with what they did a month ago or 2 months ago, or how did they let those cars get away with it, and yet a guy who might be a little bit low or high before qualifying gets busted? Do you understand where the public might be a little bit confused, or is it just me?
Well, I mean, we've been around this for years. We've seen a lot of things, come and go. I wish I was not down in Daytona when they found all this. Or I think it was Daytona, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But the magic thing is I think it was a gray area, and I think it's something that they found, the team, I wish I knew more about it because I really don't.
Okay.
Very honest with you, but I think it's probably a gray area. But when you come to high and low, I think that's something that's pretty much spelled out.
Okay. But you can understand that people who are always looking for conspiracies must be thinking, they're trying to, they caught somebody they didn't want to catch, so they let them all go. And that's just, the word on the street is they found some teams that had things, and they decided they would excuse everybody so that one particular team would not be penalized.
I guess that's the word on the street. I really haven't heard.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I wouldn't say that that's the case. I think what the case is that NASCAR, had seen that these teams had seen a gray area. And as you know, by being in the sport for 25, 30 years, there's a lot of
45.
books at all. And, there's a lot of things that, the teams will try and will do. And Roger and everybody else that's, been in racing and had a race car, you're going to try to look at things and, we interpret things in different ways, like people do the Bible and everything. And I think that sometimes, you can push the envelope and push it a little too far, and maybe that's what NASCAR ended up seeing. I wish I knew more about it and could be able to comment more, but, I really can't.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah. It was just funny, somebody told me at lunch the other day, it's amazing that NASCAR catches 31 teams and Chad wasn't one of them. It was just funny because Chad and Jimmy Johnson on their car, they were completely legal. Yeah. And everybody said that must be a first. So anyway.
That was a good question.
None of them had done anything with theirs. I think the RCR cars, they didn't catch anything with theirs either. I can't remember the whole thing, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a gray area, and I think that's what the team hit on.
Wasn't that more of a situation where it went by the type of the make of the car, the brand, like the Ford and Toyota? Because I only heard one Chevrolet in Nationwide got caught. Everything else was Ford and Toyota, and it was pretty much that way in the Cup. And is that one of the reasons why you would think they would, just say, all right, it must have been something they done?
I disagree with that because I think they ended up catching some Chevys. What was it? The 1 car and the 42 car. Those were Chevys. So I'm not really sure on that why they would end up being able to catch something like that, or what the teams may have caught on to. I mean, that would be a very, very good question for one of the crew members or staff people that end up installing these. I mean, as you know, Roush is the one that fabricates all those. So evidently it was something that they found.
Okay. That settles that. At least in my mind.
What's the most interesting...
Poor guys, but I mean, I'd be lying to you if I sat here and talked to you and I'm bullying you on it, but I really don't have a clue about those flags.
No, that's fine. I understand. That's good.
What's one of the most interesting questions you've actually had, like a fan, like he's talking about, ask you? It can either be something that you knew about or something you completely didn't know about. Just, what's one thing that kind of, catched your mind? Have you ever had that happen?
Say that again?
Like, most interesting question that you've ever have a fan ask you?
Oh, yeah. Well, most interesting question is which way is Tony Stewart coming out of his hauler so I can get his autograph?
No.
I don't know. And
wait, was that Roger that asked you that?
It's really funny because, when we get to the track, we go over everything. Now I can talk about something that I know about. We go over, the route of the direction that the cars are going to come around, what they're going to hit scales, they're going to hit templates and everything else. And throughout the day, I pretty much, we know the traffic pattern, we know what's going to happen, we got time frames, and we've got, minutes that we need to hit certain things. And then someone will come up and, ask me a question about one of the drivers, where's their bus parked at? I'm like, I don't know. And they look at me like I've lost my mind or something. I really need to go over where their bus is parked at, or something like that, or what time are they going to come out here and sign autographs? Have no idea. We're trying to get, basically with the officials, we're trying to get the cars through check. We're trying to get them out there by a certain time because you got TV that relies on you and everything else, and you got to get these cars on through and make sure that everybody is the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give us a little background on what all happened at Columbus this past weekend.
Columbus was a good race. A little short track up in Columbus, Ohio, a little third of a mile, a little bull ring. I believe we had 23 cars, and we had one of the hometown boys from Langland Speedway down there, Brandon Dadovic, number 46. He had a real good run, and a couple of kids down there really had it really hooked up. The winner, his spotter actually is from Langley, and that's Phil Warren from Anthony. So it was really nice to be able to see all them guys down there. And I'm going to tell you, there was only 3 accidents throughout the whole thing, but there was a lot of passing on the top side, down low, and a lot of pushing. And it was a really good race. I think the fans out there really got a good race for their money's worth and everything.
Now, Daniel Suarez was the winner of the race, right?
Say that again?
Daniel Suarez, when he's the winner of the race?
Yeah, the number 6. You know what is so bad? When I was coming up, my dad always told me, when I got into racing, I don't want you to remember nobody by their name. I want you to remember them by their car number.
Oh, jeez.
If I hear you saying them by name, I know you're getting personal with them. And I never understood that, and all the way coming on up, with the Dale Lemonses and all them people, I knew them from growing up. Nowadays, I understand what he's saying. I know guys more by their car number than I do by their first name. So it was really a good thing to go off of, because nowadays you may have someone in the 33 car in Cup, and next week you got another guy in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
Ron, let me say one more thing before you have to go off and do more important things and talk to us. But Sunday in New Hampshire,
Don't say it like that.
after the race, I noticed I see it every weekend, but it just happened to be maybe more so this past weekend. The garage area is an absolutely almost deadly hazardous area after a race. When cars are coming in, drivers are angry, they want to get out of there, get on their street clothes and get gone. Y'all are lucky, corporately, NASCAR is lucky that nobody has ever been, to my knowledge, run over and killed by a car coming in after a race into the garage. The war wagons are being pulled around, lifts are going up and down. People who don't belong in there are in there looking the wrong way and trying to get an autograph from some driver who just fell from 2nd to 19th on the last lap, and they think he's going to be kind enough to talk to him. I guess you know this, and I guess you guys talk about it quite a bit, but it's a pretty hazardous place, and I'm a little bit surprised that Mike and Robin and some of the other people and John Darby have not been far more restrictive on who can be in that garage area the minute the race is over. And I know you work in there, and you probably know where you are, what you're doing, and you're probably looking the right way every time. But either some 80-year-old grandmother's going to get hit, or some 12-year-old kid's going to get hit, because they just don't know what's going on.
Well, yeah, safety's number one. That's the big thing, is to be able to keep the fans back and everything. And the fans that are in there are usually down there with hot passes and can come into the hot area, like the garage. You're talking about an incident like that. My mom is 70 years old now, and I had her come down here to Charlotte, and that was the one thing I preached to her. Please, please, just don't get in nobody's way. And it was really funny because one of the crew members had hurt his hand, and they had, asked for a medical attention down there. And I knew my mom had just got there at 3 o'clock, and this happened at 2 after 3. And I was like, my mom, oh my goodness, I hope she hasn't got someone's way. Went down there, I was so relieved to see my mom standing there, get someone's autograph. But, we do practice, and they do stay on us about trying to keep that as safe as possible and keeping people back as much as we can. And I hope and think that we do a very good job with that. And like you said, the pit area, whether it's the garage or it's pit road or getting to those areas, it can be a dangerous area, and everybody really needs to pay attention, mostly where they're at, what their surroundings are.
And I understand completely the need and the importance in letting fans get as close to the action as they can.
Yeah,
But
we're one of the
yeah.
sports that you can be able to do that. I mean, you know, like football and baseball, they don't have you. Baseball at the All-Star game last night, they didn't have you hanging out in the dugout. You know, football, you're not right down on the sidelines. And I think racing is one of the one sport that you can get right down there, real close to it. People do like it. You know, and you just got to be safe around it. I mean, it's dangerous out there for us. It can be a dangerous area for anybody. And like I've mentioned before, definitely got to pay attention to your surroundings and what's going on around you. If you know, it's noticed a lot of guys we walk backwards down pit road. That's not something that we're trying to do just for the heck of it. But it's always nice to be able to know what's coming right at you. And we do that a lot going into the garage area.
Just be careful.
Okay, buddy. Well, guys, take care. Roger, tell Faith I said hi, and y'all be good. And I'll see y'all here in a couple of weeks when we get back down the line.
Oh,
Sounds
sure
good.
will. Sounds good.
All right, man. See you later.
Thank you.
Oh, what were we going to ask him about Danica?
Oh, you really want to get on his nerves tonight.
I was giving him a hard. He was talking to me on the phone about that. He says, "Don't ask me nothing about Danica."
Well, that's...
Well, all I'm going to say about Danica is this.
oh, boy. Here we go.
No. Last Sunday after the race, she said that until we wrecked out, we had a reasonable day going. She was running 25th. The 10 of the 18 guys behind her were what would generally be called almost starting park teams. People she's supposed to be. You're supposed to beat J.J. Yaley. You're supposed to outrun Joe Nemechek. You're supposed to beat Landon Castle. She was beating people she was supposed to beat. There were 5 cars that had wrecked or blown up that she would never have outrun ordinarily. So she's running 25th and she thinks that's reasonable. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Well, what do you think about the comments Kyle Petty said about her?
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And to this day, I mean, the fact that she and Ricky wrecked, if Ricky had wrecked with Travis Quaffle by himself, there wouldn't have been a word said about that wreck.
Nope.
But because she was involved, it became a big deal. The fact that ESPN the magazine has asked her to do some rather scantily clad or undressed shots in a special edition, that's a big story. Danica won't take her clothes off. Well, the Price is Right, she will. So
That's what Ricky Stenhouse said too, didn't it?
it's true though. She
Yeah.
took them off in Sports Illustrated. So anyway,
And she'll do it again.
yeah. And for
Like
some
you
reason,
said, if the price is right.
I don't know why the world has gone to her, but she's
I
like,
don't know how to do this.
Just
It's his job. If I touch the
speaker.
phone, everything goes wrong, okay? Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Racing.
How's it going?
Going good. How's it going about you?
Going pretty good.
Going pretty
You got
good.
Sergio Pena on the line.
Sergio.
Hey, Sergio, this is Jack. How you doing?
How's it going, Jack? I'm doing pretty good.
We also got Al Pearce here.
Now, my first question to you is this:
Already got a question.
what is the deal? What are you up to these days? Because I know you left McAnally to come back here. What are you up to these days?
Yeah, I'm actually just leaving Charlotte right now. I've been down here for the past couple of days, doing some stuff with the NASCAR Next program. We had a little go-kart race today at GoPro Motorflex. I can't say that word for some reason. But yeah, we had a little go-kart deal today, which was a lot of fun. And then I had a meeting with a team earlier today too. Possibility of doing some races later on this year with them. We're working on doing some East stuff for the remainder of the year. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. It's all about getting some money together. So right now, pretty much doing is just trying to find some sponsorship. That's the main thing these days is trying to get some sponsorship to bring to these teams. And the good thing is I got a lot of people interested that want me to run for them. It's just about finding that sponsorship. So I'm trying to teach myself here how to talk to these big companies and trying to ask them to help me out. So we'll see how it goes.
Now, I saw you down at Langley when you were down here. Have you got a team that's willing to go ahead right now and they put you in the car?
As of right now, I mean, it's all depending on sponsorship, but that deal that I had a meeting with that TriStar nationwide team earlier today, talking about maybe running a couple races with them before the year's over. So that'd be awesome to get my foot in the nationwide series before the end of the year. That's really exciting. I've been wanting to do that for a while now. It's just about finding the right opportunity and meeting the right people at the right time. And I think we got a good deal going with them. They're all pretty excited, and so am I. We just, like I said, trying to work on finding those sponsorships.
Sergio, when I ask this question, you're going to know exactly who you're talking to, because you may not know yet. At New Hampshire a year ago, during a press conference you were given, I stood up and asked you, how important is it for you to stay in school if you can, to get a degree, and have something to fall back on? And you and your dad told me at the time you will, at some point in time, finish school.
Yeah, I already
Are you going back to Radford?
I already knew who I was talking to.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you knew me.
I do. Yeah, I'm actually I'm driving back up north to Charlotte right now, and I'm actually going to stop by Radford. I got a couple things in the house I was living in there I need to pick up. Yeah, I'm definitely going to finish school. It's going to take a little bit of time. Right now, I need to focus on getting back in the car. And right now, this deal leaving the team out in California was kind of a last-minute decision that I made, and it kind of screwed up the rest of my year for me. But I went back, and it's too late to sign up for any classes down there, so that was kind of a bummer. But and all the schools, they kind of want you to send in your, I guess, whatever you have to do to sign up for classes. They need to send that in early in the spring. It's just kind of too late to do that. So right now, I'm just going to be full-time trying to do the sponsorship deal. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go back and finish out school. I'm already halfway done with it. So and it's important. Nowadays, you never know what's going to happen. The chances of making it to the Cup Series are so slim nowadays. It's crazy. But it's always good to have that college degree to fall back on.
You may have heard the story. My daughter got her master's degree there about 2 months ago, and when they sent her diploma to our home here in Newport News, the word Virginia was spelled wrong.
No way.
The border, it read something like the Board of Directors or the Board of Visitors proudly dispose, all these legal words, Ann Pearce, master's degree from Radford University, this date, May whatever, in Radford, Virginia, and they misspelled the word Virginia. So about 2 weeks later, they emailed all the graduates and said, we'll give you two options, or really an option if you want it. You can either keep the diploma that you picked up, or we will send you a corrected version. I told my daughter, you tell them you want to keep the old one and send me a new one. And they did. So and right now she's working at Target over in Christiansburg. She's got a couple of full-time offers, and she's gonna finish out the summer at Target in Christiansburg. So if you're ever in Christiansburg, you need something at 15% off, go in Target and ask for Annie Pearce, my daughter. Tell them she's heard of you. She knows you. I've talked to her about you, and she'll get you some stuff at 15% off.
Nice.
I will do that.
And I'm sure in your position you can use 15% off.
Oh yeah, no question. Maybe I can go over there and talk to one of the managers if they want to sponsor me.
Yeah, you might get lucky.
Whatever works.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Now, the thing with McAnally, was that your decision to leave there and come on back, or what actually transpired there?
Yeah, it was my decision. It was tough going from the East Series to the West Series. It's something that's not too common. If anything, a West Series driver goes to the East. But I saw a good opportunity with Bill, and at the end of the year, in 2012, I didn't have a set deal for 2013. And it's just, it's a bummer it didn't end up working out. There's a couple things that just, I've been running with some great teams back east for the past few years now, and the way things ran out here is so much different than the West Series. And I was thinking, man, what happens at the end of the year now? if I'm in the same situation as I was in 2012 at the end of 2013, then, what happens then? So I thought, might as well stop on ahead and just go ahead and start focusing on what I can do maybe for the remainder of the year, but mainly just to focus on 2014, see what I can do. Ideally I want to move up to the truck series or nationwide. Getting my foot in the door with TriStar and talking about possibly running these 2 races before the year's over is awesome. And if I can get those 2 races to do good, then who knows what the future can hold for 2014. But yeah, it's just something that I wanted to kind of get a step ahead of myself, because I feel like every year I've had these rides with all these great teams for free, and it's been kind of, it's not that it's been easy, but I've been fortunate enough to not have to go out and look for sponsorship and do this and do that. And at the end of the year last year really hit me like, I need to get on top of the game. So I decided to just, put the West deal aside and start focusing on a bigger picture.
Sergio, what is you mentioned a couple of times there's a difference in how things are done out west and how things are done over this way. I mean, why do you think that is, and is it very noticeable to other people, or mostly just to drivers who have done both sides?
I think it's a little bit of both. For one, headquarters is here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that's where much every single East team is based out of. They have resources from Cup teams. A lot of these guys, you've seen Hendrick, Michael Waltrip, Joe Gibbs, RCR, all these teams involved in the East Series. And, I know there's an RCR affiliated team out west with Michael Phelps, but it's just, I don't know how to really explain it. It's, not to talk bad about anybody out west. I had a great group of guys, and there's a lot of really smart, all those guys on the top, 4 or 5 teams out there, they really know what they're doing, and it shows that Daytona, Cameron Haley won from the West, and Iowa, Michael Phelps won from the West with that 2 combined races this year. So there's no doubt that it's tough out there. It's just a little bit different, and it's not the direction that I want to be going in. The direction I would like to go is truck for nationwide, and I feel like the West Series is a little bit of a step down. So that's kind of what my thinking was there.
But you're what? You're 21, 22, something like that?
20.
Okay, well, you've even got more time. Yeah, you got plenty of time. I know it seems like it's going to take forever, but as I've told people on this program more times than I can remember, all it takes is being in the right place at the right time, one time, having the right person see you, and be impressed by how you present yourself and how you drive and carry yourself, and you'll be fine. Because you've obviously got the talent to do it. It's just the opportunity you need, and you never know where that's going to come from. Just keep doing what you're doing, and things will happen good for you.
That's very true.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I remember the story that they talked about. Rick Hendrick was walking up through the grandstand at Atlanta one year and kept watching Jeff Gordon driving a nationwide car for Bill Davis. And he stopped and watched him, and he kept saying, that kid's going to crash any second now. And, of course, Gordon never did. And Hendrick asked the guy with him, who is that kid and who's he drive for? Well, his name is Jeff Gordon. He's from Indiana. He drives for Bill Davis, but he's not under contract. And at that one moment right there, in that few seconds, Jeff Gordon's life changed forever. And really, it's a true story. You can ask him, look it up, that he was driving for Bill Davis under a week-to-week contract. He was not contractually obligated, and Rick Hendrick liked what he saw that afternoon at Atlanta at a nationwide race, and Gordon's life changed for the better right then, and the same thing can happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah, but be sure to go back to school first.
The last thing you better.
Yeah.
And go by Target if you need anything.
No, I will.
Oh goodness, Al.
So since you've left the McAnally team, have you done any racing at all?
Oh, well, I did some go-kart racing today. That was fun, but other than that, I haven't been in a car, unfortunately. The only driving I've been doing nowadays is back and forth from Charlotte to Winchester, Virginia. So that's kind of a bummer, but That's all right. I'm going to try to stay as much as I can. I've been working on a bunch of cars, so I've been around it. I've been in the seat.
Hello?
But, I got the
close to
serious
6 o'clock.
TriStar tonight to get back to the car sooner than I think.
Be sure to make yourself available
TV show I do out of here.
as often as you can.
So,
I'm sure you and your people know this. If people don't see you, if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. If, for example, you came to Richmond and just stood around for a couple of days and at least shook hands and handed out business cards, you just never know. And if you're not trying, you're not getting there. So, all right, that's the end of my speech.
Mr. Al Pearce has spoken,
That's
ladies
right.
and gentlemen. He
I'm
has spoken.
trying to help him out because I really like the young man.
yeah,
I met him. I've met him. I've talked to him.
Sergio's always been a nice guy.
We spent time together at Langley. We spent time together talking at Phoenix a couple of times, at Martinsville. I knew he was at Radford when my daughter was there, so I hope he does well. And like I say, if one person sees you doing the right thing one time, you're on your way.
That's all it takes.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. It's great to hear it.
And you've got my business card, so call me if you need anything.
I'm good. I'll do that. Thank you.
I'm serious.
Wish you the best of luck, man. You gotta look at it.
Target 15% off.
I'm gonna start putting that on his page about Target 15% off now.
Call out Pearce.
But it's right across the street from a Stone Cold Creamery ice cream store in Christiansburg. You can go get ice cream and then go to Target. Yeah.
Hey, sounds like a plan. Now I got plans this evening.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, Sergio. Best of luck to you. You know we're pulling for you. I think we all would help you any way we could, so let us know how things are going.
I really appreciate it. It's glad to hear I got people rooting for me out there. And
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough sport, but I'm not going to give up on it for sure. So.
Well, let us know when you get that ride with TriStar now.
Oh, yeah, I will. I will let you know for sure.
All right, man.
Sounds
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good evening.
Take care.
You too. Okay, you guys gotta look your phone in. Did it work? Hello?
There's nobody on there yet.
Oh, I thought somebody called though.
No, he's
Somebody calling for the computer store.
Oh, well, that. I'm already talked to Hannah, and then it's like, oh, never mind.
Heck, if I was 20 years old and had a offer about 15% off, I'd go to Target every day.
I'd take it right now.
Absolutely.
I'd love to get a 15% off at Target. I still got some books for AP to get. I'll gladly take that.
He's a good guy. He's
a real good guy.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. I've talked to him.
He was
quite a
one
few
of my
times, too.
first interviews on this show. Like the second time I was on here with you, and I was just starting out. He was someone I interviewed. He was really, really nice. Good interviewer.
All right, who are we waiting for?
Him.
Jack, push the line that's lit, then push speaker.
Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. Nice to talk to you, Hannah.
We have Hannah Newhouse on the line. What are you trying to do? Beat up Al over there?
No, he jumped. I was like, you okay? Apparently she's
We've
scared.
got a 6-year-old on the line.
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm mad at that one. Okay.
How you doing tonight, Hannah?
I'm doing pretty good. And how about yourself?
I'm doing good. I don't know about these guys over here that are supposed to be doing all the interviewing. They're cracking
I'm
up.
doing good. I'm just laughing because Al, your facial expression. I'm sorry. That was
We're having way too much fun here tonight, Hannah.
We're always having way too much fun.
Yeah, you got Jack Dodson, Al Pearce, and Crystal Herr also sitting out here with me.
Yep. We got all four of us.
So, for those that haven't heard about you before, go ahead and give us a quick racing resume. And also follow up with some of the stuff you just did here the past couple of weeks.
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you guys. I don't know why.
Give us your racing resume and tell us what you're going to be doing this upcoming weeks.
No. Past couple of weeks, what she did.
Past couple of weeks. Oh.
Yeah, she did a couple of things.
Alright, well, basically, I started racing go-karts when I was 5. And,
See, she's not 6.
raced for quite a while up until I was 13, where I collected multiple championships and then, of course, some state championships. And at at the age of 13, my parents got this crazy idea to put me in a full-sized race truck, which I didn't even have my license before at the time. And, of course I was hooked, but due to age restrictions, I couldn't run, really anywhere. So I came back the next year, ran full-time, and ended up getting 4th in points in Rookie of the Year. And the next year, Team Thompson Motorsports, they're located actually in Jerome, Idaho, they picked me up and I ran a local late model series for them in the Whelen All-American Series. And we had an awesome year that year. I mean, we got 6 wins, 10 poles. I actually broke the record of being the youngest female ever to win American race. And we ended up 3rd in points. But also that year I got accepted to the Drive for Diversity program, which was an awesome privilege to get to go there and compete against 17 others. And let's see here, what else happened last year? A ton happened. I had my K&N West debut in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I finished 6th place, which was awesome. Nice. Having never been to the track or in the car either, but that was awesome. And this year, I'm actually still running with Thompson Motorsports. I'm running a super late model program and also a pro truck with the ASA Pro Truck Series. And we've been doing awesome in the trucks. We just got our first win last weekend, where we swept the complete night. We won our heat, qualifying, and won the main. Woo! The track record.
Way to go.
And in our challenge series, getting tons of seat time experience, learning. And it's just every weekend, every other weekend, I'm racing something different. It's just been awesome this year.
You go, girl.
How did you get involved with Brett Thompson?
He grew up I grew up around watching him and my dad race together. At one point, they raced modifieds together. And so when I got to the age where I can actually race some certain series, they kind of said, hey, we want something to do with you. And my dad also approached them and said, hey, what can you do to help my daughter out here? She wants to make a career out of this. And so together, they kind of put together this awesome program where Thompson's picked me up, and they've been helping me ever since then.
So, what is I'm gonna ask an Al Pearce question now. What is your plans for the future? Where do you see yourself going?
Well, definitely, of course, if you ask most race car drivers, I'd love to be racing in one of the top 3 tiers in NASCAR as a career. But being only 16 right now, I'm really limited to what I can be racing. So, of course, I'm taking it step by step. I'm hoping in the next year, I'm trying to put together a K&N West race. We're trying to put together 2 this year at Miller Motorsports Park, which is, I believe, in September. And then I'm also trying to put together a race for Phoenix. Because really, K&N West or Camping World Trucks is going to be the next step for me, considering I can't run anything bigger until I'm 18, which is a good solid 2 years. And so, really, those are the next steps for me, but I would definitely see myself in the future with a career in one of the top 3 tiers, for sure.
Wow.
And where are you located? I'm kind of confused on where you are.
I'm from Twin Falls, Idaho.
Oh, okay. I've been there.
Oh, okay.
I have.
Where you guys are.
Yeah, Kyle Petty's motorcycle ride went through there this year.
Yeah, where?
Yeah, we left from Coeur d'Alene and came down to Boise and went through all kinds of Idaho places. So, yeah, I've been there. I've been there this summer, in fact.
Gorgeous.
It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's pretty. Oh, it's great.
I've got a standing invitation to come out there. I haven't been out in Idaho for several years.
Raj, you want to take me along? I don't
It'll
think
make you dig potatoes when you get out there.
That's fine by me. As long as I'm able to eat them later on.
I'll tell you some stories about potatoes
I'll
when
dig
we're
them,
done.
take them, peel them, wash them, boil them, make your mashed potatoes.
They literally fall out of the trucks.
Well, yeah, if you don't put salves on it, I'm sure.
I'm talking about these big, tall ass trucks. They'll be driving down the dirt roads, and they'll be just dropping out every little bump they hit.
Well, let me ask Hannah this question: do you? And this is very sincere. I'm trying to be very nice. Do you think you can advance through and up through NASCAR living in Idaho? And I'm not being smarty. I'm just wondering, do you think you eventually have got to come east?
Yeah, I actually have taken that into consideration when I look at people who have, grown up on the East Coast where some things are so much more technologically advanced and where they really do, they kind of have the upper hand being and growing up around those big tracks that all these series go to. But, I mean, definitely being from a small town, it gives me a little bit more drive of, hey, I may be from a small town that racing isn't one of the top priorities, but, I mean, it's going to be about gaining experience and exposure, just like anyone else. It's just that much harder for me to find the opportunities and the support when I'm in a place that isn't so involved in racing.
I know that Brian Scott is sponsored by a lodge or resort in Idaho.
Yeah, he's actually, I think it's in.
Okay, he drives for Childress in Nationwide, and I assume that must be his father's business or some relative's business. Heck, you two might be the only two Idaho drivers to ever reach Sprint Cup. You never know.
Hey, that would be awesome. I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Be able to get there.
I'm pretty sure you can do it. You're really talented.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, tell us about your experiences with the Drive for Diversity program.
Well, last year, I was one of 17 participants that got accepted to go back to Langley, Virginia. And we went back there for about a week. And they tested us based on media. We did on-track. We did simulator testing with iRacing. It was a great experience getting to meet a bunch of other drivers from, all over the United States. And, of course, I was the baby of the group. I was still only 15. And, it was awesome getting to, of course, I'd never been past Iowa. So I was definitely on the other side of the state. But we got to practice on Langley Speedway, which was, great. I've never been back there to race back there. And, I wasn't picked up this year, but personally, I'm planning on reapplying this year because I felt I've matured more in my driving. I've got more super late model experience, just that much more seat time that I could put towards it. Plus, I'm 1 year older, and I'm graduating this year. Graduating high school, so I'll be done with that, and I won't have any legitimate tie-downs as far as that goes.
Now we are within about 3 miles of Langley Speedway right now. Where we're broadcasting from is where you were.
I believe I talked to you guys last year.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
you did.
Let me ask you this, did you see the ocean as you flew into this area?
Yes, we flew into Hampton.
Yeah, okay, so you've seen the ocean.
Yeah, we flew in 2 days early. And
Okay. Well, you said you'd never been further east than Iowa. I didn't know whether you had never seen the ocean until last year.
Oh, no, we go, of course, we see the other side of the ocean. I go to Oregon and stuff all the time, and we hang out on over on the California coastline and stuff, so I just haven't seen that side over there.
That doesn't count out there. That's not. That's not the ocean. That's
just because it's the biggest ocean. It's not.
Yeah,
the
but
ocean.
see, nobody would be here if we hadn't come across this ocean.
Deep ponds.
Right,
That's what
okay.
he's talking about.
Well,
I
good.
have to go to Virginia Beach or something.
Well, let me ask you this: how did you like Langley?
I actually really liked it. Come the end of the week, I didn't want to go home. I'm like, Dad, can we just stay just a couple more days? I don't really know what we're going to do, but we'll find something.
Yeah.
And so, hopefully this year, I want to come down a couple of days early and kind of scout the area for colleges, just to go back there and look, look around for school and stuff back there. But I definitely enjoyed it. It's a lot different than from where I'm from. We've got fields and sagebrush.
Yeah, I know. Let me tell you what: if you are interested in colleges around here, and you are academically qualified for William and Mary in Williamsburg, that's where you got to go.
For sure, I'll definitely check them out when we go this year.
The second oldest college in America, behind Harvard, but William and Mary's public, Harvard's private. So anyway, William and Mary is about 18 miles from Langley Speedway. You could be at William and Mary and race, and never have to miss a class.
Hey, there we go.
All right, somebody else talk. I'm going to shut up.
Now, next year when you come out for the Drive for Diversity, we'll have to bring you over here to the show and put you on live.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that'd be cool. If we could set that up, whether I'm a day early or something, that would be awesome. I'd love to do that.
Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of things you can
Crab
see
cakes
here.
and oysters. That's straighten her right out, Lord.
Yep.
All right, Jack, jump in there. You got something good to say, I'm sure.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about the sponsors you got on your cars and everything, and give them a shout.
All right, well, that's what I have to thank for sure. My truck is actually owned by Jim Lynch, which is Mr. Gas. He actually owns this truck, and he's had his boys race it, who are now grown older, for quite some time. And as him and the race team and Thompson Motorsports came together this year to put together this program for me to run, so I definitely, I mean, without Jim coming in and saying, hey, let's put Hannah in a truck, I definitely wouldn't be running the truck series with the good equipment and what they put behind me. And then Thompson Motorsports, they have just been the light of my career lately. I mean, definitely without them, I would not have progressed near as much. They've just given me these experiences that I don't think I'd have been able to attain with just, me racing out of my own garage. But they definitely got the connections that are getting me to where I do. But I have tons of local sponsors that I can't think enough, considering I don't really race that locally anymore. But they're definitely willing to put their buck in and do anything they can to help me get to the racetrack each weekend, which I'm definitely thankful for. I mean, I can't thank them enough. Whether they're family, friends, or there's some people I've never even met that are like, hey, we want to be a part of what you are, because we can see you going somewhere, which is definitely an awesome feeling, knowing someone you don't know is willing to put their hard work into you to make you go somewhere.
Now, I'm supposed to ask you, what's with Dr. Pepper? Like, something about Dr. Pepper on your page. What's with that?
Okay, well, what they did is Dr. Pepper had a competition, and they had, you could send in a video. It was a nationwide contest, and it had to be a 1-minute video of why you thought you were unique, or something you did that was unique. Hence the reason they've got hacky sack, unicycle. There's a girl MMA fighter, I think, on there. But there was thousands and thousands and thousands of entries that were sent in nationwide, and they chose 10 finalists at all of the nation. And I was actually one of them that they chose. So right now voting's open, which is open until the 24th, and they're taking the top 5 finalists, and Dr. Pepper is going to choose who they think should be kind of the face of Dr. Pepper at this point. And they'll use it, it's called the next one, and they use you as being the unique, reflecting the unique taste of Dr. Pepper, but it goes with the unique personality, so I'll be featured in their commercials and stuff if I end up winning. So we're definitely voting right now to keep me in the top 5, and even keep me ahead if that's at all possible, just to be like, hey, that's a good photo.
Well, we're doing our show right now, so anybody that hears about this, you can tell them to vote for you. Tell them about where they can vote and how they can vote.
If they go to drpepper.com, I think down at the bottom there's the next one, or something, they can click on it, and the 10 videos will come up, and all you have to do is you have to sign into a Dr. Pepper account, which all it requires is, I think, is your name and your email address. But once you sign in, you can vote every day, and then also, if you're on Twitter, and you use the hashtag Hannah for the next one, that also counts as a vote, and you can do that every day. So technically, you can vote twice a day, every day.
Awesome. We will totally be voting for you. I wish you luck on that.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we appreciate your time tonight, and when you get everything set up for the race at Phoenix, let me know, because I'm planning on being out there.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. All right, you guys handle that. Okay, so racing news. I have lots of things to ask my good old buddy Pal about his favorite person in the world. You know who that is?
By the way, I will not be here next Wednesday night.
Aww, man.
It's my daughter's birthday. I'm going to go to Radford and take her to dinner.
Aww. How
And,
old is she turning?
and we're going to go to Target while we're out
And you can get your
50% off the gift you're
there.
going to get her, right?
She'll be 24,
20. Oh.
and I'm going to buy her some nice gifts and use her card to get 15% off. So,
Wow.
Is that 15 or
Way to
50?
go.
15.
Oh.
So
You
I
wish
will
it
not.
was 50.
I will not be here next weekend.
Aww. Well, wish her happy
And
birthday,
the
though.
weekend after that, I will be on Wednesday night at a Red Sox game in Fenway Park. So you'll miss me for the next 2 Wednesday nights.
You want to take me with you?
You got money for tickets like I paid? I'll be glad to take you, baby. Somebody offered me, said, Jack Roush and Roush Fenway offer the media tickets for Red Sox games occasionally, but you got to buy them. I mean, they'll make them available if you got to buy them. And when I saw the ticket price, I almost choked. But seriously, I thought, you know what? It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal. I'll never get to go to Fenway again. So whatever I've got to pay, I'm going to pay. And then I told my wife today, I said, listen, if I pay that much to see a Red Sox game and the opportunity ever comes up again, you kill me. Because I don't want to pay that much money for what was going to be a one-time deal that turned out to be a 2 or 3 or 4-time deal. So it's 3 figures.
I kind of figured that.
At least one of them's a 1, but the next 2 are way up the scale. So anyway,
You must have some prime seats.
yeah, oh yeah, we
Really,
do. Yeah,
really
right beside
nice
the dugout.
seats.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
nice.
But they're Roush Fenway seats that they sell to the media for on race week. So I will not be here next Wednesday night. Oh no, wait. Oh no, all right. I'll be in Radford.
24th. Okay.
Right,
just in case
24th.
you-
I'll be in Radford,
Okay, yeah,
31st you'll be
don't
in-
forget your daughter's birthday now.
and then I'll be in Fenway Park. Okay, so
All right.
y'all get along without me.
Back to my
All right, go
question
ahead.
I was going
All
to
right,
ask
We'll have to
you
struggle to survive, Al.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
about Danica.
Hey, here's
that
a choice.
word.
You can do Danica or tell about the first time you ever talked to Richard Petty.
Yeah, or oh, come on. Oh, I remember when I was able to get that story out of you about when Richard Petty. I was proud of myself.
I'm not going to tell it again.
Oh,
Y'all talk about something.
I'll tell it.
I can
Well,
shut
what
up.
about the big wreck with Tony? How about you give your opinion on that?
Which one?
There's a sprint. Oh wow! Which
I've
one?
only-
Hear that, Roger? Which one?
I've only seen it once on YouTube, I think.
The Canandaigua Speedway.
Yeah, and I didn't see it very clearly.
Yeah, I didn't.
I couldn't
see
tell
it
what
right.
happened.
How many
He
cars
supposedly
were
stuck his wheels in where he shouldn't have.
Yeah,
And he said it was all his fault and caused a 15-car wreck 7 laps in.
yeah. Kind of like what he did at Talladega last year.
And then,
Yep.
and then
On the last lap.
last week,
A big
him
wreck.
and his teammate got into it in a sprint car, and his sprint car teammate, or the guy he pays to drive his car, flipped him, and he got out of the car and called him an ass.
Oh, he didn't throw a helmet.
So I don't know if he's still driving for him.
It's been a bad few days for Tony. He was running second on the last lap last Sunday and
Ran out of fuel.
ran out of gas. And you know, in his defense now, in his defense,
Oh.
I will defend him on this call. They had it figured down to 301 laps. When it went overtime, he was screwed.
It's all out.
So, but what was also funny was the day before, in the nationwide race, I think Kyle Busch and his guys had their fuel right down to maybe in time enough for one green white checkered. I think Kyle told us they were good for like 204 laps, and it went 211.
But the
But
caution laps helped.
no, even more important than that, they red flagged the race after the second wreck on the green white checkered.
Yep.
They red flagged the race to clean up the mess. If they had kept going
Yeah.
under caution, he
Then
wouldn't
he
have
would-
made it. Sam Hornish came in and pitted, topped off, and would have made it easily. And Hornish was thinking, surely they're not going to red flag this thing.
And surely they did.
And they saved about 6 laps by red flagging it, and Bush won, as he often does. So
All right, give us your take on the Ryan Newman, Kyle Busch.
I can't, you know,
Yeah.
Ryan Newman came in last Friday and said he didn't know a thing about it until Wednesday night. When Tony called him at 20 till 8, and they talked for 20 minutes, and he basically got fired on the phone in that 20 minutes. First I heard about it. First I knew about it, had no idea it was coming. Let me tell you what, everybody in the garage area knew that was coming.
Oh, they saw that come.
I can't imagine, and I wish I'm back there trying to get a question in, and they didn't see me.
Oh.
And I was going to ask him, Ryan, are you sitting there telling us that last Wednesday, 2 nights ago, was the first you knew you might not be back? Everybody in this room knew it weeks ago.
I mean, you already
Everybody in the
talked about
garage knew it weeks
Harvick was
ago.
going to be coming and joining the team.
We knew, we knew
driving
Harvick
the
was coming.
Ford car, I believe it is.
That was announced a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, last November, and nobody. I mean, Tony had never indicated he could field 4 teams.
He's always said, that, if a sponsorship would come along,
Right.
But that they would address it. But there's no sponsorship.
Nope.
So he wasn't going to take the 4th team. He wasn't going to do a 4th team.
I don't understand why. I mean, excuse me.
You're fine.
There's been a lot of talk about maybe Newman will just go to Childress. They'll just swap drivers. But I tell you what, unless your last name is Dillon, I don't think you want to be hanging your hat on.
Yeah,
RCR
you're not
for
going to
very
get the
long.
top stuff. Yeah.
No, you might get a good ride. You might replace Harvick for 2014 and maybe 2015. But when Ty and Austin come along, and unless you got Paul Menard's daddy's money, you're out of here. So, but they're going to find something. He's too good not to find something.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, from somewhere.
Where do you think he'll go?
I don't know.
You really don't?
Hey, Childress right now.
Yeah.
There's no other place to go. But
Well,
but for him to tell us he didn't know it was coming.
Well, Finch team, who is now belonging to who? Al?
Who?
Finch team.
James Finch. His racing team.
His team.
Harry Scott, I think. This could be announced tomorrow, apparently.
Okay, because that's still
Friday. It's gonna be Friday.
Oh,
Is it Friday? Okay.
Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be Friday.
I'm trying to help you out from keep you away from the Danica question here.
Oh, I don't care about Danica question.
Go ahead, then, Crystal.
Come on, Al. You know,
Let me tell you what, you can.
your reactions to this.
I'm
It just
telling
cracks
you,
me up.
you can take every race report this year, and you can look at the 10 or 12 people she beats without even trying hard, and there's your Landon Castle and your J.J. Yaley and your Nemechek and those guys that used to be starting park teams. So she's already
beating who she should be.
33rd just to kind of. I mean, after 10 laps, she's 33rd no matter where she started, because the other people are either in the garage or headed that way. So she ain't got to pass anybody. And then
basically, she's the last running car.
She's the last decent car running. And then last weekend, Logano blew up early and wrecked. 2 or 3 other guys wrecked. Fairly early. About 5 or 6 guys fell out, and she suddenly moves from 33rd to 25th. Well, to me, you didn't really beat anybody. You advanced, but they all came backward. So I don't know. But she's a very nice lady. Everybody likes her. They say she's a great cook.
She cooks.
She cooks. Me and you have been like
Burns up the tires and stuff like that, maybe.
Apparently she's a good cook. But she is so much like the Kardashians in that nothing they do is unnoticed.
Yeah.
That is very
well,
true.
she was on.
Like every move.
Was she on Leno's show last night?
Jay Leno last night, yeah.
Yeah, on Leno's show last night.
Talking about wrecking with Stenhouse?
It was mentioned, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Leno. He talked about her? The wreck?
I didn't catch the whole thing.
It was mentioned. It was mentioned, but it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't really talked
It wasn't
about.
really.
It was
That wasn't the whole thing.
In there.
It was probably a little heated around the pad, so to speak.
Well, I mean, if you watched it, she wrecked him. Okay, and then she slowed up to see what happened. And I thought Stenhouse was going to go pay her back, but he took off and went right by her.
Maybe she caught him doing something he wasn't supposed to do, and she was doing a little payback.
But Quapple did get her.
I'll tell you what, the surprise team of the year so far, to me, is a 78 car. Kurt Busch and that team, they really are self-sponsored by the team owner. I mean, they were top 10. They were 9th in points until last weekend. And if not for that boneheaded move he made, trying to force something, he'd have possibly won the race. Because he led the most laps. He was really good on long runs, and he was headed for a long run. And I think the 78 car. And here's something very quickly. We can't talk about it long because I want to go eat. But here's another deal.
Cupcakes are calling his name.
Here's another deal. The 55 car can possibly be the championship team. Not the championship driver, but the 55 team can win the owner's championship. They're right now in their own little version of the owner's chase, which is separate from the driver's chase. And it would be only the second time in Cup it's ever happened that the winning championship driver did not drive for the championship team. And you don't know when that happened last, do you? Nobody knows.
Not even you?
In Cup?
I'll tell you.
Oh, you should tell.
1963, Joe Weatherly drove for 8 or 10 different owners and won the championship. Wood Brothers had 8 or 9 drivers and won the drivers' championship. But Weatherly and the Wood Brothers were not, it was not the same, they weren't on the same team. So 50 years ago, they had a championship driver and a championship team, and they were not together.
And that 55 car next year is pretty much assured it's going to be Vickers for the whole year.
Yeah, it should be.
I wonder where Martin's going to show up. They're just in that good quality rides out there right now.
Mark Martin, I don't know that he cares that. I mean, he's 53, 4 years old now.
Well, no, he's
But he said
55,
today,
isn't he?
But he said today on Sirius that, he was going to drive next year, but he just didn't know where.
Yeah, but he'll find some. I mean, he might drive nationwide.
Is anybody replacing him? Or is that another possibility for Ryan?
No, Vickers is going to
Vickers will be in the 50, should be in the 55 car. All right, let's go eat.
All right.
It's 1 after 8.
Wow. 2 after 8 now. Oh.
We're into overtime. We're in a green white
Anyways.
checkered. It's a green white checkered finish now.
Oh,
we
Lord.
almost were going to have somebody call in at 8 o'clock. It would have really got you around.
You'll talk to him without me. I'll tell you that.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Let's Talk Racing.
But I won't be here.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Here's your 2011 champion, David Brehm.
Hi, this is David Flens, driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway Track Champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driver 42 car. I want to thank Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler Built Seats, Bell Helmets, Hooker Harness Seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV